This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 31st day of January in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire today ruled that a no-confidence motion against the government of Guyana was properly carried by a majority in the National Assembly. She said with the vote being valid, the cabinet should resign even as the president and government remains in place. The Chief Justice ruled that 33 votes in the National Assembly represented a majority of votes. She said there is nothing in the Guyana Constitution that caters for a rounding up of fractions. Justice George Wiltshire said while there is a need for an absolute majority, she is of the opinion that 33 votes in the 65-member National Assembly would constitute that majority. She said the issue of what constitutes a majority in the National Assembly in relation to the no-confidence motion was never raised in the National Assembly by either sides, and even on the date of the motion there was no immediate objection to 33 being that majority. The government was contending that because there are 65 members in the National Assembly, an absolute majority should be 34, which would represent half of the number of members plus one. The Chief Justice did not agree with that position. The Chief Justice also ruled today that former Member of Parliament for the government, GUYANESE Prasad, was ineligible to be nominated and ineligible to be elected as a member of the National Assembly because of his Canadian citizenship. However, she added that his ineligibility does not render the motion and the vote invalid. She said both were properly carried. It was GUYANESE Prasad's vote that flipped the majority over to the opposition and allowed the no-confidence motion to be carried on December 21. The Chief Justice made it clear, however, that the Guyana Constitution is very clear, and persons who hold dual citizenship cannot be nominated and cannot be elected to serve as a member of the National Assembly. The Attorney General has already indicated that he intends to file an appeal in the matter that he took before the court. Stay with us. We'll come back with the reactions in just a moment.
Roam like you're home, because prepaid means more with GTT. Travel to any GTT roam zone in the US, Canada, Caribbean, Latin America, or South America and pay the same great rates to use your data from foreign as you do when you're home. With GTT, prepaid means more, so roam like you're home with GTT, Guyana's preferred roaming network.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87, 89, and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance, and high mileage, visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
Nobody on the post there. Is that going to be costly? Yes, it is. But I'm not saying we just get a header. Oh, no, that's some save, isn't it?
Let's Bet Sports. Take your game to a whole new level. You decide. Your game, your bet type, your bet amount. Guyana Lottery Companies, Let's Bet Sports. Be part of the game.
Get ready to ride it, ride it. Ready to ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride the wave. Open up the new vibe, drink up the boldness inside. Radical and fresh and wild. Catch the wave now. Ride bold, ride fresh, ride strong. Come on, ride the wave. Taste the action, satisfaction, perfection. Wave, 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 wave.
Ride the new wave of excitement sweeping Guyana. Wave Pale Ale, a premium, full-bodied, strong, and refreshing alcoholic brew, crafted to perfection for a bold, young, radical you. Don't settle for anything less. Catch a Wave Pale Ale and ride it today.
Wave Pale Ale.
Crafted to perfection.
Welcome back. Following the Chief Justice's ruling this afternoon that a no-confidence motion was properly carried and is valid, Attorney General Basil Williams said there is nothing to panic about, and he intends to appeal the case and take it all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice.
The ruling of the Chief Justice is stage one. We had said that they needed to have 34 votes and not 33. And why is that? It's because you require an absolute majority, what we call it an absolute majority, as against a simple majority. The simple majority is 33. Now, if the absolute majority, as the former president of the CCJ, Sir Dennis Byron, said, we have an absolute majority when he looked at our constitution and a simple majority. And he said the absolute majority is stronger than the simple majority. It means that 33 cannot be the same vote for the absolute majority. And in any event, we are talking about a parliament with 65. It's an odd number parliament, and the cases show when you have an odd number parliament, to get the majority, you divide it by half plus 1. And when you divide 65 by half, you get a fraction. And since there are no half human beings, you have to round up the fraction to the next whole number. So that's 33 is half. And you plus 1 to get a majority. And that is another decision by the current Chief Justice, Justice Saunders of the CCJ. So we feel very strong about our case. And just as happened in Cedric Richardson, where we went on appeal to the Court of Appeal, and then from the Court of Appeal to the CCJ where we won it, and stopped Jagdeo from saying that he could have a third term, we're going all the way again.
A number of the arguments put forward by Mr. Williams during the submissions in the no-confidence cases were thrown out by the Chief Justice. However, he said he is confident that he could get a different result at the CCJ.
And there's no need to weep and gnash teeth. Our courts are a hierarchical system. Our final court is the CCJ. So, like in the GCOM chair, when Nandalaldam lost, that they appealed to the Court of Appeal. So it's all part of the process. So nothing is over until the CCJ makes the final determination. All right? So there's nothing to panic about and nothing to worry about. All right? So just relax with that.
In terms of the resignation of the government, is that going to take place?
Well, we are going to go. I asked just now for a stay and for conservatory orders, and the Chief Justice refused. So we're going to appeal the matter, and we're going to renew that application there, because we're saying to her, the time is running, and we wish to have this matter resolved.
Meanwhile, attorney Anil Nandlal, who's representing the interests of the opposition leader, told reporters that the Chief Justice's ruling were very detailed. He said he's not surprised that she has pronounced that a no-confidence motion was properly passed.
So now we have the Parliament would have made a decision. That decision would have been confirmed by the Speaker, and now they have brought it to the court, and that decision has been confirmed by the court. I am happy that almost every submission which I have made was upheld by the Lord Chief Justice, and we must congratulate and thank the Chief Justice for a very thorough job done, and a lot of work was done in these matters, but they have settled matters of vital national importance, and hopefully now the way has been cleared for the constitutional provisions to be complied with. And those provisions are that elections must be held within the time frame stipulated by the Constitution.
Mr. Nandlal said while everyone has a right to appeal, he believes it would be difficult for any other court to reverse the decisions handed down by the Chief Justice today.
The Chief Justice, now before you can appeal a case, you have to have an appeal that has merit. The Chief Justice, throughout her ruling, dismissed the submissions of the Attorney General on the ground that they lack merit. You heard her say that on a number of occasions. So I am not, you can't stop a person from appealing, but I can see a competent court granting any form of conservatory order or grant any order that will have the effect of staying what the orders that have been made here today. Because the Chief Justice has done nothing extraordinary. All the Chief Justice has done is to give effect to the provisions of our Constitution, which all of you would have read and all of you would have understood to have been the meaning of those provisions. I mean, you all know that 33 is the majority of 65. You didn't need the Chief Justice of the country to tell you that.
The Chief Justice ruled that while in keeping with the passage of the no-confidence motion, the cabinet should resign, the government will have to remain in place until new elections. She said the constitutional provisions will kick in, and those point to elections within 3 months, or at a time agreed to by 2/3 of the National Assembly. Let's tell you now that the British High Commission has terminated the contract with British financial crimes expert Dr. Sam Sitlington, who served as a special advisor to the Special Organized Crime Unit of the Guyana Police Force. The decision was made this morning and later announced by the British High Commission in Guyana. The Commission said in light of information about Dr. Sam Sitlington's private business interests here in Guyana, his contract has been terminated with immediate effect. According to sources, it is believed that his decision to have his own investigative company could be seen as a conflict of interest, especially with the key role he was playing in major investigations, especially those linked to political figures. The Guyana and British governments were reportedly unaware of his moves to set up his own company while still in its employ. The Stabrook News reported today that it has obtained documents which show that Sitlington registered his own company in Guyana under the name the fraud company Guyana Inc. That was done in September of last year. The company was registered under the Companies Act, and Sitlington is listed as a director of the company. Mr. Sitlington already owns and operates his own fraud investigations company in the UK. According to sources close to the government, it was felt that given the political climate in Guyana, the establishment of a branch of that company in Guyana would raise serious questions. Sitlington was brought to Guyana by the British government as part of its assistance to this country in the area of police reform. He has been assisting the Special Organized Crime Unit with several major investigations, including those linked to former President Barra Jagdeo and former ministers of the last government under the PPP. In the past, the PPP had accused Sitlington of taking on more than an advisory role at SOCU. Back in 2017, the opposition party had called on the government of Guyana and the British High Commission to explain Sitlington's real role in the investigations of former government officials, since he had been seen doing raids and major operations. The British High Commission then had explained that his role was nothing more than that of an advisory and training one. Sitlington's termination comes days after another senior official attached to SOCU resigned after refusing to provide her qualifications as an expert during a court case. The woman Special Superintendent of Police Shironi James is a British specialist investigator who served as the deputy head of SOCU. She told the court that she would not provide her qualifications because it could be a breach of national security. Finally tonight, the Guyana Police Force has welcomed 69 new ranks, and Police Commissioner Leslie James has encouraged them to focus on honesty, discipline, and commitment to the job as they serve and protect.
You are embarking on an exciting, interesting, and equally serious career as policemen and policewomen. Do not forget for a moment nor fail to apply the exposures you have had to the rules, laws, regulations, procedures, and tactics. Remember your oath of office.
The police commissioner also told the recruits that they must at all times be focused and represent the force well.
Being a police officer requires a lot of things. It can be very much exhilarating at times. You must display exemplary conduct, excellent turnout and bearings, nimbleness of intellect, likened to a sharp mind, honesty, trust, worthiness, confidentiality. Once you do this job right, it can be a rewarding career.
And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.